In this video, we'll look at creating default approval workflows for absence requests, attendances, and changes in employee data. A default approval workflow establishes how approvals work for all employees in your company, except for those who use special rule sets. For each workflow, you can create up to 6 steps, choose who approves each one, and keep track of progress in the Approval widget of the Workflow Hub. Step 1. Create a default approval workflow. To create a default approval workflow, go to Settings, Workflows, Approvals. Choose an absence type, attendance, or employee data to set up the workflow for. In the Default section, click on Add Approval Step. From the drop-down menu, choose the approver. Specific employee sets a particular named person to approve this step. Employee with role means that any employee with a particular role can approve it. Supervisor means that the employee supervisor approves the step, and supervisor works the same way. Add up to 5 more approval steps as required, and click Save. The steps need to be completed in sequence, so step 1 needs to be approved before passing on to step 2, and so on. When you select employee with role, all employees with this role will get a request for their approval, but only one person needs to approve or reject it out of that group. For absence types with a medical certificate, the approval process for the medical certificate is automatically linked to the approval process for this absence type. Whenever you add a new absence type, remember to set up the approval workflow for it directly afterwards, so that it can be used. Step 2. Approval workflows with special rule sets. Sometimes you might need to exempt certain employees from a default approval workflow and set up a different process for them. You can do this by creating a special rule set for employees, defined by an employee filter. An employee filter is just a way of defining a group of employees who you can then exempt from the default approval workflow. To create a special rule set, you need to have defined an employee filter beforehand. To do this, click on Manage Employee Filters, and under Approval Filters, enter a name for your new filter. Click on Add Rule and use the attributes to define your filter. For example, our filter is for employees in the IT department who are also working students. To create a special rule set, click on the tab you want to add it for and then click Add New Rule Set. Select the filter you created from the list and define up to 6 steps for the rule, just as you did for the default. These steps will then be applied to the employees defined by the filter, while everyone else will continue to use the default workflow. Congratulations! You've successfully set up approval workflows for absence requests, attendances, and changes in employee data.